Shalom semuanya. Nah, thanks God it's Friday. So malam ini pasti ada sesuatu yang luar biasa yang bisa kita menangkan. Pertama-tama saya mau mengucapkan terima kasih untuk teman-teman yang pertama kali hadir di acara ibadah The Channel dan tentunya untuk teman-teman setia The Channel. Tidak terasa ya, kita sudah memasuki quarter terakhir tahun 2022. Pasti kalian pada excited mau planning jalan-jalan ke dunia bagian mana, menghitung sisa cuti, apakah aku ditipu oleh HR-ku gak? Atau ada yang berpikir kira-kira pacarku mau kasih surprise apa ya di Christmas ini? Dan pastinya ada teman-teman yang planning mau cari kerja nih, mau increase my salary nih, bonusnya gak cukup nih. Jadi malam ini adalah malam yang sangat diberkati karena kita akan mendengar langsung dari ahlinya yaitu Dr. Augus. Mari kita beri tepuk tangan. Dr. Augus tentunya sudah sangat berpengalaman di dalam dunia marketplace. Beliau akan membagikan tips apa yang harus kita persiapkan untuk mendapatkan karir atau kerjaan yang baik di masa mendatang. Dan juga dia juga akan membagikan pemahamannya tentang perubahan-perubahan yang terjadi di dalam dunia kerja. Dan juga tentunya di dalam bidangnya yang sangat ahli yaitu kesempatan kerja di dalam bidang sustainability. Tanpa berlama-lama lagi, mari kita persiapkan hati kita untuk memulai ibadah kita. Saya persilakan tim Praise and Worship yang sudah on-site untuk memimpin kita dalam ibadah hari ini. Selamat beribadah, sit back and relax teman-teman.
Sekali lagi shalom teman-teman dikasih Tuhan. Dimanapun kalian berada, mari kita satukan hati kita untuk memuji menyembah Tuhan. Haleluya. Mari nyanyikan bersama. Dari utara ke selatan terdengar pujian bagi Allah. Dari barat sampai ke timur, nama Yesus disanjung tinggi. Dari pulau-pulau, lembah-lembah, gunung-gunung yang tinggi, kemuliaannya disaksikan, kebesarannya diceritakan. Yesus, Yesus, nama Yesus. Yesus disanjung tinggi. Dari pulau-pulau, lembah-lembah, gunung-gunung yang tinggi. Allah-Ku dahsyat berkuasa, seluruh bumi sujud menyembah, tinggikan nama-Mu. Allah-Ku dahsyat berkuasa, seluruh bumi sujud menyembah, tinggikan nama-Mu. Disaksikan, kebesarannya diceritakan. Yesus, Yesus, nama Yesus. Nama Yesus disanjung tinggi. Dari pulau-pulau, lembah-lembah, gunung-gunung yang tinggi. Allah-Ku dahsyat berkuasa, seluruh bumi sujud menyembah, tinggikan nama-Mu. Allah-Ku dahsyat berkuasa, seluruh bumi sujud menyembah, tinggikan nama-Mu. Allah-Ku dahsyat berkuasa, seluruh bumi sujud menyembah, tinggikan nama-Mu. Allah-Ku dahsyat berkuasa, seluruh bumi sujud menyembah, tinggikan nama-Mu. Dari pulau-pulau, lembah-lembah, gunung-gunung yang tinggi. Dari pulau-pulau, dari pulau-pulau, lembah-lembah, gunung-gunung yang tinggi. Allah-Ku dahsyat berkuasa, seluruh bumi sujud menyembah, tinggikan nama-Mu. Allah-Ku bagimu Yesus, Allah kita yang baik, Allah kita yang setia, Allah yang tidak pernah berubah dulu, sekarang sampai selama-lamanya. Kami merendahkan hati kami Tuhan, untuk memuji menyembah Engkau dimanapun kami berada Tuhan. Dengan segala nyanyian pujian kami Tuhan adalah persembahan yang harum bagi Engkau Tuhan malam hari ini ya Bapa. Terima kasih atas kebaikan, terima kasih kesetiaan-Mu yang sungguh berharga dalam hidup kami. Dan sepenuh hidup kami kayak memuji menyembah dan melayani Engkau Yesus. Inilah komitmen kami malam hari ini Tuhan. Terima kasih Tuhan. Sekalipun ku berjalan lewat lembah kelam, namun tangan-Mu selalu menopang hidupku. Saat ku dalam ketakutan, Kau hadir di sisiku. Kau berkata, jangan takut, Kau beriku kemenangan. Kaulah Tuhan yang berjanji, tak sekalipun Kau ingkari kesetiaan-Mu. Sungguh terbukti di sepanjang hidupku. Terus selamanya ku kan setia melayani mengasihi-Mu. Tiada Tuhan seperti-Mu Yesus, Kau Allahku yang setia. Sekalipun ku berjalan lewat lembah kelam, namun baik Yesus. Kami menyembah Engkau, kami bersyukur, kami tinggikan Engkau. Allah yang baik, Allah yang mulia, Allah yang berkuasa dalam hidup kami selama-lamanya, tak pernah berubah kasih setiamu Yesus. Oh ya Rama Shama ya Rama, kami bersyukur. Haleluya. Rama Shama. Kaulah Tuhan yang berjanji, tak sekali pun kau ingkari kesetiaanmu, sungguh terbukti di sepanjang hidupku. Tuh selamanya ku kan setia melayani, mengasihimu. Tiada Tuhan sepertimu Yesus. Kau Allahku yang setia. Kaulah Tuhan yang berjanji, tak sekali pun kau ingkari kesetiaanmu, sungguh terbukti di sepanjang hidupku. Tuh selamanya ku kan setia melayani, mengasihimu. Tiada Tuhan sepertimu Yesus. Kau Allahku yang setia. Tiada Tuhan sepertimu Yesus. Kau Allahku yang setia. Kaulah Tuhan sepertimu Yesus. Kaulah yang setia. Layak dipuji, disembah, Kaulah yang bertata dulu, sekarang, dan selamanya. Raja atas segala raja, namamu besar termulia. Layak dipuji, disembah, Kaulah yang bertata dulu, sekarang, dan selamanya. Raja atas segala raja, namamu besar termulia. Namamu besar termulia. Namamu besar termulia. kuasa yang tidak pernah berubah dulu, sekarang, sampai selama-lamanya. Kami ucap syukur Tuhan hadirat-Mu di tengah-tengah kami, dan berdoa ya Bapa kiranya Engkau selalu senantiasa hadir dari awal pertengahan sampai akhir dalam fellowship malam hari ini. Kiranya Engkau mengurapi ya Bapa hamba-Mu Tuhan Dr. Augus Lee akan menyampaikan isi hati-Mu yang sharing malam hari ini. Kiranya apa yang disampaikan malam hari ini menjadi saluran berkat, menjadi berkat dalam setiap dalam kehidupan kami ya Bapa. Kami serahkan acara malam hari ini hanya ke dalam tangan kasih-Mu. Di dalam nama-Mu Yesus kami berdoa dan mengucap syukur. Haleluya. Amin.
Puji Tuhan, thank you Hendra dan Yobel. Selamat malam saudara-saudara yang dikasihi Tuhan. Shalom. Saya mengucapkan selamat datang di The Channel Seminar. Terima kasih sudah bergabung bersama kami malam hari ini. Saya percaya kita semua dalam keadaan yang luar biasa, sebab kita punya Tuhan Yesus yang luar biasa, yang selalu menyertai dan menolong kita semua. Amin. Malam hari ini kita akan dilayani oleh Bapak Augus Lee. Terima kasih Pak Augus untuk waktunya. Saya percaya seminar malam hari ini akan memberkati dan menginspirasi kita semua, khususnya para profesional yang bekerja di marketplace. Mari kita sambut sama-sama dengan tepuk tangan yang meriah, Bapak Augus Lee. Augus Lee.
Thank you. Shalom, sister and brother in Christ. Hope everybody is doing well. I just want to turn around. Normally people say brother and sister, right? In English, we say lady and gentleman. Why don't you say sister and brother? Okay. Oh, you're doing great. Yeah. I strongly believe that everything that we do, we are also blessed from our Almighty God. Okay. Tonight, I just want to share something that we already hear every day on the social media. You know, when you turn on the TV, you will see the word sustainability, net zero, circular economy, and green energy, and whatever. There's a lot of fuzzy work currently going on around. So I'd like to give you a little bit, on the overview about what is about the sustainability and why it is so important, especially for the young generation, the young professional who are looking to get more better opportunity in the future as a different career you will enter to. Okay, but before we do that, okay, I would like to say to everybody to remember, okay, what we want to sustain and why we need to sustain. Okay, when you look in the Bible, in the chapter Genesis, we will see everybody will know that this world, the heaven and earth is created in everything, and they created by God. Okay, so our responsibility as a human being, this gift we given to the human being, our responsibility as a human being is to preserve what is God giving us to us. But the reality is, it's different. What we hear every day today on the newspaper, on the TV, or whatever we hear today is what has happened to the God creation. Something has happened. Something is going on right now. But if you think all the thing going on, the positive, you will see there's a lot of opportunity will coming up. Okay, so I think this picture is nothing, strange or whatever to you, to everybody. You see, the climate change, talking about the extreme weather, tsunami, flood, everywhere, Look at recently heavy flood in Pakistan. They never experienced it in the last 30, 40 years. Yeah. Look at today, Australia. Okay. I was, in the past traveling quite heavily to Australia. People even never see any rain for months, for years, but now it's raining, it's a heavy raining. So a lot of things change in the world, okay? Like or not, this is the situation. And the puzzle what we always hear today, you switch on the channel News Asia. I'm not promoting the channel News Asia, but you switch on the News Asia, there's always a topic called every night called sustainability. So remember, what we need to sustain and why we need to sustain. Yeah. Remember, this is a God creation. We need to preserve and sustain. Okay. So what happened is, what are the causes today we know? By scientific technology, by research, what we know today is, okay, we got more and more people on Earth. Okay. And there is a projection on the 15th of November, next month, on the 15th, we will reach 8 billion, Can you count the 8 billion of people? It's a lot, right? Okay. They will project another 10 to 15 years, they will increase to around 11 or maybe 12 billion. Yeah. Experts predict if this is going on like this, yeah, and we overconsume the energy, what we are doing today. So everybody just consume as usual. And the reason why we consume it, because we like to live more comfortable, right? You don't want to sit in your room right now. I'm in my room here with no air conditioning. So everybody want to live comfortable, okay? That is lead to energy consumption, yeah? And this is lead to over CO2 emission. So CO2 emission today, this is a situation that create the world, the climate change, or people are talking about crisis. Some experts predict, yeah, that if we're going to consume to live the way that we are living today, we need to have another 3 Earths, 3 Earth, 3 planets like this. And we want to live comfortable like we are doing today. We need 3 Earths to get all the natural resources what we need, yeah, in order to overcome this situation. Yeah. So this is the reason that you see a lot of bushfire in Australia, in Europe, where never happened in the eastern part of Europe, in the U.S., particularly in California, even not in California now, in the northern part of in the U.S., the things happen, heat waves, when our temperature the 40 degrees. I was myself experienced one many years ago, about 42 or 41 degree in Pakistan, Lahore and Islamabad area. So I can only tell you, when you come up from the car, you have an air conditioner car, you feel like you go to the oven, you go to the somewhere, you get a shock for this, yeah. And this is what happened today, right? And also, single-use plastic, deforestation, some of deforestation is I think, man-made. A lot of things happen in the world because people need to produce, people want to produce cheaper, and a lot of other things that happen in the world, okay? And all this lead to the human cause, What is human cause? Human cause is a lot of deaths happen in the past, yeah? A lot of people had to move their house to the other area because of flood, because of whatever natural resources. And recently, I don't know whether you all follow all the report about the new diseases, It's happened as a lot of new diseases now, increased COVID, for example. Don't to be scared. People are talking about the Arctic, the Arctic virus. If the ice is molten, it could be some of the giant virus getting awake again, and then to be contaminate, the world, and we get another pandemic, something like that. Tropical disease. I just recently read the article, about tropical disease spread to Europe and increase in trend. A couple of months ago, people in France for the first time found the dengue fever. Yeah, for example, I never experienced before. So this is things happen now, spreading around the world. So what happened is the world is become more hotter, the warm up, more heater. Everything's happened today. And this is what we are seeing today. Yeah. Wildfire, hurricane, and this, if you combine this together, we are talking about the climate change and climate crisis, right? So this happened today, okay? So what then, how we are going to preserve this God creation to us? God will always give the perfect world, perfect earth, perfect nature to us, okay? And what should we do as a Christian, okay? what should we do? Sorry. What should we do as a Christian? Okay. Of course, there are challenges and also opportunity. Remember, okay. These are all exist that we know are happening day by day. I think we need to be a good steward of God's creation. I think that is the job or the duty of the Christian. So to be a good steward of God's creation. So then what we should do, okay, as a good Christian, as a good steward of God's creation, we need to support the implementation a lot of the legal framework, right, to combat climate change and climate crisis. This is also we create. Sorry, what happened? Okay, and that is many of you probably know. You have this called Paris Agreement, which just recently 2015 and I think 2019 or something like that is approved by every country. Yeah, and this is now coming up stronger and stronger. Every corporation, especially public listed company, there is a regulation. Certain numbers of employees. You have to have a ESG report, environmental, social, and governance impact. So that is you need to report everybody. Okay, you have to. Every country need to reduce the gas emission, the greenhouse emission by 2030, about 50% to the level of 2005. Okay, and how to do that? For those who are doing a lot of automation technology, there's a lot of opportunity there. And then every country, nearly not every country, but a number of the country, I think close to 200 now, commit to the so-called net zero emission by 2050. What it mean, the net zero emission? Net zero emission means what we produce, what we offset is become a zero. So that means we are producing not more than what we are occurring. So it's a bit technology. Some technology absorb, capture the CO2, plant, tree, some technology capture that, and then lead to everything to the so-called the global sustainable development of the United Nations. Yeah, and the slogan of this global goals of sustainable nation is leaving no one behind. So number one, you can see there's no poverty. I'm not going to go through the 17 of them, but the very, very basic one is no poverty is one of the global sustainable development. So that is the slogan, this is the target. Yeah. So when we look at the opportunity in regard to the sustainability, net zero and circular economy, I will explain a little bit what is circular economy later on. Okay? Then you will see, for those who are working in the finance sector, you will see that a lot of opportunity come up. Yeah, you can see that the green bond, in the market for those who are working in the bank, yeah, you will see that the projection that by the end of this year you will hit 1 trillion by 2022, by the end of 2022, and we hit around 5 trillion in 2050. Don't stick on this figure. The figure is always huge. If you look to the study, I've tried to research the study a lot. There's a lot of deviation of this figure. Yeah, so don't confuse. But one thing you need to keep in mind is there's a huge number has to be financed. Yeah, because currently there's very fluid in this sector of sustainability. Then the second one is if you want to go to enter to the trading business, you have the carbon footprint offset through so-called carbon credits. Yeah. So now the carbon credit per ton worldwide is about 35 US dollar per ton. Yeah. In 2020, it will be increased to around 50. In the coming years between 20, 26 and 30. Yeah. Unfortunately, in Indonesia currently, this carbon credit offset legally it's not allowed yet. Yeah, but I heard it's soon for that. Yeah, soon to be allowed. And the market will increase from around 31% from more than 200 billion to more than to around 2.5 trillion in 2027. Okay, and the industry is coming on aviation industry, natural-based carbon technology. It's all industry. If you go today, again, I'm not promote Singapore Airline. Yeah, you go to the booking the Singapore Airline, you can see, that the ticket you pay, for example, from Singapore to Frankfurt, you pay around $23, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, in the carbon offset. Yeah, so actually we are already paying that without we know, but we are already paying that. Yeah, for the airline to offset their carbon credit. Yeah, Singapore Airlines also working with the NGO in Indonesia to plant the tree. I will come back. And most of this financing will go to the industry because industrial sector is consume the most or produce the most, CO2. Industry and energy will produce worldwide consider about around 80% of the total CO2. Yeah, so this is a huge market, huge opportunity for a youngster, for a professional to think. I want to go to the finance. There's a lot of green bond opportunity, and so want to do the trading. There's a lot of carbon trade opportunity for you to enter. Yeah, and remember the industry area we consume the most. Yeah, so think about not only about the financing, but go to the industrial sector. Okay, the next we are talking about the so-called renewable energy. Okay, wind power, whatever we don't have here yet in Singapore, but you will see more and more coming up with the solar energy in Singapore. Okay, you will see that many areas we create the solar energy to offset this CO2. Okay, so and if you look at this sector, energy, it's a lot of growth that expected in a global renewable energy. It got close to 900 billion in 2001, should be doing around 2 trillion by 2030. I think this figure, 2 trillion in 2030 is underestimated. I think the market is much bigger than that at this moment, but some predict about 5 trillion. So therefore I say, don't stick on this figure. This figure is huge for you to have an opportunity and career opportunity, a business opportunity in the years to come. Now, the investment, the clean energy investment is huge. It's 1.4 trillion today, and we will come in the next 3 decades to 100 trillion, according to the International Renewable Energy Agency. So it's a lot of things happen in the world. Yeah, I'm not sure whether you're aware or not. Okay, Singapore government, according to the Straits Times, trying to import the solar or the clean energy from Australia. Okay, over 800 kilometer transmission overhead transmission line. Yeah, for Northern Territory to the port, and from there going to the subsea cable to Singapore. Yeah, we hear a lot in the past that the subsea cable is quite common, for the internet, for the high speed internet connection is very common, and that is going to do. And again, according to Straits Times, the investment close to 30 billion Singapore dollar and will be completed in 2029. Yeah, so you can see there's a huge effort in Singapore government is trying to offset the CO2 to become a net zero in 2050. Okay, and then starting this year, in June of this year, Singapore is importing also a clean energy and from Laos via the Thailand and Malaysia, and the first renewable energy into Singapore. And there is a power, plant in Laos, which is hydropower plant, will account about 1.5% of Singapore peak electricity demand in 2022. This could power around 144 four-room housing board flats per year. Okay, so those details you can find in the thread time. Yeah, pick up on the. I find it very interesting, especially this project, from Australia through, the subsea cable more than 4,000 kilometers come to Singapore. Okay, so how much effort is it going to happen, and what kind of opportunity, career opportunity, business opportunity you have if you want to enter this area. Okay, another one is it's a technology. We know that technology today, without technology, nothing will happen today. Today, our world is driven by technology. Recently, I talked to many people. I'm still the advisor of this young seeker. I'm talking to them. If you look at them, but nobody actually realized TikTok has already influenced our daily lives so much. I always give an example in the food industry. When we send the food technology, processing technology, normally it's about 30 minutes. Today, nobody wants 30 minutes. Okay, they always ask, it's possible 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, the first thing I talked to our group in the past to produce 5 minutes, everybody say cannot. But today it is happening. So TikTok makes this happening. Everything with more than 3 to 5 minutes. All the youngsters, like your Seb or Monica, I think you guys have no interest to read at all, right? So you will get this. This is a change happening. So what is happening now after the Internet of Things? Yeah, now is called artificial intelligence of things. Okay, so the artificial intelligence combined with the Internet of Things. This is happening today. So smart devices using artificial intelligence. Yeah, so the machine should this kind of machine we implement whatever in the industry, and the machine itself will learn. Whatever happened, whatever things happen, whatever process happen to improve itself and to learn this called a smart lab with use artificial intelligence. I already said the automation, digital technology. Digital technology after the pandemic. Yeah, this digital technology accelerated a lot. Yeah, and yesterday or the day before, I was in Batam to support this SMK school from Irwan, the IT. I said that today, if you don't have a smartphone, you can't travel to Singapore, because you need to report the digital health. So it's not possible to come to Singapore without a smartphone. So all the digital technology change, green and renewable energy, we talk about that. The one now also under consideration also in Singapore, I really see the recent formula, the so-called carbon capture and storage. Yeah, there was a discussion. Some of the carbon, CO2 in Jurong Island, the refinery island, we bring under the sea cover somewhere in the real island, stored in the underground. Because Singapore underground geothermally is not suitable to store the CO2. So this is a technology you need to know this is coming, and that you need to think about, should I invest in this area? Should I move to this area? Or recycling project technology, we know that electric vehicle, we also know. Okay, now we see more and more electric vehicle on the road now. Tesla, BYD, and all these things come on the road. Yeah, but the game changer will come is so-called hydrogen vehicle. Okay, this is a vehicle using HO2, gas, which in the end of the day will change the whole landscape. And then if you are now working in a laboratory, you are working at the chemist or in the sector of testing, certification, you need to learn that some other technology will come up in terms of testing and certification. Because a lot of this device, a lot of technology needs somebody to certify that is good for, reduce CO2 emission, to combat this climate change. Okay. This one, probably you see for those who are went to the factory, you will see this is recycling, collect all the garbage to the recycling. This one you see already now in Singapore coming more and more, electrical vehicle, right? This one is renewable energy, maybe less. You see less yet, yeah, but it's coming up soon. Maybe be very soon. Every household you get the subsidies from the government, and the government asks you to install the solar. And this is going to come hydrogen vehicle. Yeah. So what is the hydrogen vehicle different? Look at the sign, only emits water. Actually, hydrogen technology is nothing new. Also, all the rockets, yeah, they are using this hydrogen technology. Of course, it's very expensive. You need to have a very strong seal, very high pressure, and all the thing. But this way, hydrogen vehicle, if you come to the market, they will become a game changer. Because all this electrical vehicle, they still need power plant. So if a power plant is not coming from renewable energy, there is only half of the clean energy. Yeah, it's not fully clean energy, or classify as net zero. Okay, so we from a team of us think the other way. For all this technology, you need some time. Okay, you need some time to develop the technology to do that. I think the faster way to do that, and I see Padudong is joining here today. He is a project director for this planting with purpose. We create a company called Asia. Yeah, and if somebody want to know much more detail about that, just call Padudong. Yeah, just for your information, a mature tree can absorb about 25 kg CO2 per year. Yeah, so and in Asia we call it planting with purpose. Yeah, and why we call it planting with purpose, not planting trees, because we have one purpose is to prevent worsening of climate change, improve air, water catchment, prevent soil erosion, and then the other purpose is to support people living standard in the remote area and better education. Okay, so this is what we are doing. Okay, and if you look at that today, okay, today the emission situation, Singapore, each of us per capita, we emit, and as average, yeah, per capita, around 7 to 8 tons of CO2. Okay, I'm not sure in the future government asks us to pay the tax for this CO2 or not from household. Yeah, that I don't know. So you can imagine if nothing happened with the technology, if we are not going to develop the technology, renewable technology, each of us, yeah, Angela, Monica, Joseph, Dudong, myself, we need to plant 1 tree every day in Singapore just to absorb the CO2. Do we think we have the land? We just don't have the land, right? So this is the reason also Singapore Airlines is cooperating with Indonesia and in Kalimantan to plant the tree there to offset the carbon. So remember, each of us, yeah, per capita, we need to plant 354 trees per year to offset the carbon emission. So remember, if nothing happens with the technology, we need to plant 1 tree per day, per person. So we will be busy planting trees, yeah, instead of, earning for a living. Okay, and this is the reason we start with a pilot project in the South Tapanuli Selatan. Yeah, and this is a project of Padudong. Yeah, so he is coordinated this project. The project already started. We started with 1,003. We asked him to plant. This is what happening today. Yeah, this quite active. We have another project. We come up with the American NGO called Terraformation. Yeah, they are asking for 300 hectares. For minimum 300 hectares for cooperation. So we are on the way to apply for this. For those who has a family, parent, whoever, yeah, got a 300 hectares land in Indonesia. So please contact Padudong, yeah. So and we are serious on the project, yeah. And we have last week we got a meeting with them, yeah. And the application deadline is by the end of November. So please inform Padudong, yeah, if you have the 300 hectares land somewhere. So the next what we are going to do is we are going to create the Association of Sustainability and Circular Economy in Asia. So the application is on the way. So Pak Dudung is handling this. So I'm acting there as a president, and we have the chief technology officer is Professor Seram, very famous professor in Singapore from the US. Yeah, and for a project department is Pak Dudung. Okay, so this is what we are doing today. Okay, and you can also, as a private person, yeah, to help the nature, you can buy the trees as a gift card. Now it's Christmas coming up, New Year coming up, Chinese New Year coming up. So remember, you can buy, and you can, instead of buying things where you don't know whether your friend like it or something like that, you will buy this, and with a purpose to prevent the climate change, to support the people living in the remote area. Okay, so that is, you can go to the Anchor Asia, then you get the e-certificate with the QR code. QR code will show exactly where your tree are planted. Okay, so this is what a small, scenario what we are doing. We are still in the very beginning state. Okay, so what is the consequences if you are not going to cut the carbon emission? Okay, that is called carbon tax. Yeah, you remember the Deputy Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, Singapore want to rise the carbon tax. Okay, today we are paying around $5 per ton. 2040 onwards, you will pay another $25 per ton. Assume nothing happened. Assume government will tax everybody. Okay, so remember, we will have to pay $200 per year for the carbon. About 8 tons we are producing, right, in the average. Of course, not we, but as a general capital. Yeah. In Europe now, they are starting to count what is per household. Well, how much per household create their CO2. In the future, they will tax them. Yeah, we are not that discussion. I don't hear the discussion in Singapore. So, what has happened? Every corporation, every company is racing for net zero. Okay, racing for net zero, and why they are racing for the net zero? Because of the business. Yeah, purely because of business. Carbon footprint labels aim to promote green buying. Yeah. So if Monica going to buy something, if you see this 200, tons of carbon produced because of one cosmetic, probably you're not going to buy in the future, right? That is a reason for that. Yeah. So corporation, bank, if you go to any website nowadays in Singapore, big corporation, you will find always they're promoting the net zero. Okay. And the first building is established by DBS and Newton Green for the first net zero building. Okay, I'll show you the picture. And US just launched Singapore first net zero building. They will build from the scratch, the NUS. For those who are graduate NUS, maybe you can check with that. So there is a Guangzhou, a premium mall. They declare this belongs to Cathay Pacific Group, Sphere Group. This already a net zero. Okay, and now the interesting is Microsoft want to be a carbon negative in 2030. What do you mean carbon negative? So it means they can sell this carbon credit when they have the access to other people, so you can buy from them carbon. Yeah. So create the carbon negative means you will earn money also. You can make money. So I just recently read this. Singapore Authority also established a sustainability finance advisory panel. Okay, and you can see today this building is DBS. This building is a mall in Guangzhou. Now you can see the product coming up. Even in jean they put it 8.98 kilo. CO2. This is 21. Yeah. So Joseph, if you are buying this jean, probably you will buy 8.9 kg, right? Not 21. So this is that. And then the two sport shoe company like Adidas and Allbirds, they're coming up with a shoe printed clearly what is the carbon footprint. Yeah, cosmetic also. Even a salad, yeah, this one also have a carbon, CO2, but very small, 0.14. Okay, and recently, you believe or not believe, last week we went for lunch in the Wisma Atria. You see that one? Ibu Ina, Pak Dudung, my wife, and we go. This soup restaurant, they promote sustainable food. And they claim that the energy they use all come from the sustainable energy. Okay? So with the permission of my wife, Ina and Dudung, I published this photo, yeah? Although it's not written yet, but assume they were not against that. So this is going on everywhere because consumers now are more critical. Okay? So imagine tomorrow you are going to supermarket, okay? And if every consumer are so critical, you will check each of this product, whether the CO2 emission is high, low, what you are, maybe we get a little bit headache also, right? Because there's too many things. In the past, you were talking about, organics product, biodegradable product, and other product. Now, on top of that, you're talking about the carbon footprint label on the product. Okay, so and single-use plastic, yeah, this is more scary thing now happening in the world. Okay, about 380 million tons produced in single-use plastic. Yeah, almost all our sea or ocean are polluted already through this microplastic into the food chain. So we probably ingest every day already this microplastic. Yeah, recently I read a report in the UK, even in the breast milk, they find the microplastic already. For the ladies, should be a little bit aware about this. Personal care and beauty industry produce more than 120 billions. 120 billions units per year. Okay, big or small. Okay, so now the government leader agreed to reduce this. Yeah, and they're going to do. Yeah, you can see that there's a sea full of plastic. The only solution today for this plastic, we call it biodegradable product plastic. We started the project, but it's not so running, not so smoothly, to be very frank. So what you need to do is just to reuse the bag and then go to the reusable biodegradable product. So now the old things, the old production, we call it, if you look at the industry, we are sourcing material, we do some, process production, transport it to the end, and then use a product. Some maybe we can save it, but a lot of things we just throw away. This one, we call it linear economy. Yeah. And this is what happened today. Most of this CO2 happen currently because of this linear economy. Okay. This linear economy is going to transform to the so-called circular economy. Yeah, circular economy currently is in action. There's a lot of countries now talking about circular economy. Circular economy is basically saying, whatever you produce, you use, you should be recycle, reuse it, remanufacturing it, yeah, and recover it, and maybe at the end of the day, only remain a small waste to minimize, eliminate the waste. So you recycle it. This economy, according to expert prediction, about 4.5 trillion. Yeah, they will create 95 million jobs, 50 million the service sector, 45 million in waste management. Okay, and this is what will happen in the past, okay? In the future. Yeah, that the nature we're giving a seat in the boardroom. Doesn't mean that you have no choice, but you have to accommodate all this natural thing into every consideration you have. Yeah, I'm just putting a statement from this very famous professor called Seram Ramakatsa. We are cooperating with them in the part how much business and opportunity we create. Yeah, and what he said that the future is here. Yours, have fun to set the future. Right? So then I've just summarized it. I already said what kind of opportunity you have because of investment asset to the net zero, transform the linear to the circular economy, innovative in green technology to reduce CO2, carbon neutral product that will be coming. You will see just now, right? A lot of product now with a label, a carbon footprint, they're becoming stronger and stronger. There will also be a natural solution, capture, restoring underground CO2 or planting tree, whatever, to capture the CO2 from the atmosphere. And then this will create a different and new business and new opportunity, and that's why the new career for everybody. Okay, and you can imagine that if you are trying to go to this sector, you maybe become the chief sustainability, chief net zero, or chief circular economy officer. Chief sustainability officer is already there. Many companies already have this one. Yeah, net zero I haven't seen yet. Net circular economy officer I haven't seen yet. So this is an opportunity for the young professional, a job waiting for you. Okay, but remember what I always said: no matter what you do, if you want to become a successful leader, you need to be a passion for the job that you're doing. You need to got a high integrity as a personal attitude, integrity to become successful. Okay. So we always say, in the church, we say that very clear every day. Life is a choice. Like God give us the choice. Yeah. And what is a choice? God bless us so to have a dominion over the nature and to look after, protect the nature. Yeah? Because God instructed to sustain the nature and not to destroy and misuse it. So that is the very clear message. We need to be a part of the solution. We can't be a part of the problem all the time. When we're talking about the things that happen in the world, unfortunately, we are talking always to the other people, other people. We never talk about ourselves. So we need to be a part of the solution. Okay? Let us help preserve the nature with Christian value to glorify God. That is what we need to do as a Christian. Yeah. So to God be the glory that we always know. And thank you very much. I hope this will give you some insight. Yeah. And so the church itself should also take care about the sustainability. I haven't seen any church yet, involved in the sustainability discussion. Where we preach, what is good for the human being, but we haven't talked too much about sustainability. I think this is time for the church to wake up, or the churches to wake up and to contribute to the sustainability. Thank you. If you have a question, I'm here to share my thought. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Augus, for sharing your insights. So I think we learned a lot about the sustainability. Now we want to do Q&A. So for you that if you have any questions, you can submit to this slido.com and just scan the QR code in the screen or just key in the number there. Okay, maybe the first questions from my side, Augus. So maybe the question is, how about the people that are working in the traditional energy business like oil and gas and maybe coal? Are this industry still going to survive for some time, Augus?
I think yes, for some time, yes, until people are talking about the energy transition today, right? So there will be a transition period to the energy, to the clean energy. I think we still need it, yeah. I always say that, oil and gas, using oil and gas or coal, doesn't mean that we create a bad energy or whatever. You need to have a certain technology attached to the power plant, yeah, where I did during my KSV time, Joseph, the KSV, right? We have this equipment called FGD, yeah, where we can filter out the servers or whatever. Okay, but this equipment is pretty expensive, and the gas, whatever come up from power plant, is unfortunately very aggressive. Okay, so you need to replace all these parts in very shortened time. So it's very costly. You remember the Beijing Olympic at the time, we sold a lot of this equipment to China. And you can see around Beijing at the time, the sky is suddenly blue, yeah. But after the pandemic, after that not pandemic, the Olympic, the people that here and there switch off the equipment because they are very expensive, right? So and actually you can do that, but with a higher cost, yeah. So I think the traditional energy will stay gone for a certain time, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for the response, Augus. I think there is a question about industry as well in the chat, I think from Felix. So the question is, how about the agri-technology, Augus? Will there a boom in this industry? Will there be any advancement?
Yeah, you see that especially during the pandemic, agri-industry become one of the key pillar, for a lot of people to enter too, industry. I think agri-technology is a lot of things still be employed. I think agri-technology is very, very much still behind. Okay. I think Pak Dudung also try to, do the hydroponic or whatever he try. Yeah. It's a lot of things, still to be explored, vertical, what do you call it, planting in a vertical way, hydroponic, and all this industry is still, I would say technology, agri sector is still far behind. I think there's a lot of potential to do. Yeah. You can see that at the end of the day, during the pandemic, the only sector was not affected badly is the food industry. Because you and me need to eat, right? So it's and when I was in Ambada, we are allowed to be when everybody is locked down, we are allowed to go to the office. I think 3 or 4 people maximum per day. Okay, because we need to deliver the spare part, and Singapore government to make sure that this kind of industry is going on. Yeah.
Okay, but okay. One more question about on the industry segment. So there is a question from the participant. If the company is providing bookkeeping or services or management consulting, so she's asking whether how will this company contribute in the carbon emission because they are not manufacturing company.
Yeah, you see, there's a lot of this consultancy company coming up. Yeah, including myself. I'm also doing that something in that direction. So I think this is a very strong industry. All this expert in Europe, in America, in Southeast Asia, I'm talking to. All this institution, doing the research, doing the consultancy, they are pretty much overloaded today. So it's a lot of activities going on. And main reason I see some of the main reason is because company need to, some other reputed company, unfortunately, like we know in Singapore, need to get a consultant to back up what they do, okay? In order not to be blamed that what they are doing, is not in the direction. So they pay the consultant something just to get a backup, saying, oh, this is what according to this consultant ABC, right? And it's not what I'm saying, but the company is saying. Okay. I think in the consultancy business in this area today, there's a lot of things going on. So try to do. If somebody want to partner with me, please come to me. We can do together. Yeah. I need a lot of youngsters, to do that. Okay. So it's a lot of business there in the consultancy. Yeah.
Okay. Augus, maybe the question now is, let's say if we want to move to the sustainable industry in the new frontier, so what do you think the skill set that we need to develop to move to that industry?
I think, as I said, all the time I'm saying you need to have a passion for this. Okay. I'm also learning. I'm still learning. I'm just learning. Okay. I told myself, when I reach 65, what else I need to do, besides all these things doing, corporate life, almost close to 40 years, I think I need to do something for the community. Okay, you have to do something productivity. I think you guys need to make a decision, conscious decision that you are passionate to do that. Okay, if you're passionate to do that, there are many sectors in the sustainability industry, and they are all growing. They are all growing, and we all will grow strongly in the future. Remember what I said about environmental, social, governance report. So the company have to make this report now. So that means the company have to make sure that they are doing the environment, they are doing the social, they are doing also right the government. So it's a lot of things to be done. So it's up to you. I see one of the big challenge and big opportunities renewable energy. So if you love to do something in the energy, just go to the renewable energy. Okay, and that is I think the area. Wow, I think in the next 20, 30, 50 years, maybe I stay ongoing. Yeah. Because remember, a lot of countries, they got a nuclear energy, right? Nuclear energy will be phased out also because of technology danger. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Augus. Augus, there's another question from the participant. So the question is, if a company keep using technology like AI or robot to replace the human intervention, is this changes support in the reducing the carbon emission?
Yes, in the way that if these technologies, support to reduce the consumption of energy. Okay, so if you reduce the consumption of energy, they reduce activity in the factory. This means also automatically reduce CO2. Yeah. Why I said also the digital technology is now one of the technology they claim to reduce about 20% of the CO2, because the technology itself will tell you at the spot that you are already producing that much CO2, so you need to have a correction with a certain time. Okay, and not to wait until things happen that you are doing the correction. I mean, countermeasure is always too late, right? Prevention is that the target that this technology is going to provide. Okay, and I think that is the future. This is the way that you have to think about that area.
Okay, Augus. Augus, there's another questions. Is there any vertical farming, high-tech farm in Indonesia so far?
I'm not sure. I should be there by now. I know only from my team there in the United Tractors. Some of them are doing this hydroponic on the rooftop. Yeah, I think Dudong also talked to them. This guy in the past doing that, but vertical farming, I'm not sure. It should be already exist, I think. Yeah. If Dudong know about that, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Pak Dudung. Pak Augus, sorry. Okay. Maybe the last questions, Pak, from the forum. So the last question is, what is the sustainable or practical tips for the individual like us that we can do to reduce the carbon footprint?
I think for the individuals, each of us is very clear. You know, there is a very old say in the past. Yeah, the only way you can get rid as fast as CO2 is with less consumption. Okay, but a human being doesn't act, unfortunately, today that way. Okay, so every ladies want to buy a new shirt. Every lady want to test out the new cosmetic. Yeah, everybody want to buy a new spec, new glasses, new shirt, new clothes, whatever. That is, you think, a little bit challenge in this area. But let us do the small thing. You know, maybe if we are not in the room, maybe we sit on the switch of the aircon, we sit on the light. You know, if we sleep, maybe without light or something like that. All these small thing. Yeah, maybe less less using single-use plastic, bring our own use bag, reusable bag, something like that. I'm also starting to do that. You guys doing it, do this kind of thing. Yeah, in Singapore, it's not yet the situation like in Europe. You have every household may have 5 boxes. Okay, you need to segregate, right? This is plastic. This is compostable. This is this is something like that. Yeah. My daughter in the US, she is very environmental friendly. She always collect her own battery, bring the battery to the to the disposable area. In the US, you have this plastic bag, so-called biodegradable plastic. Yeah, it's no more normal plastic is allowed, something like that. So I think if everybody do something, small thing, yeah, reusable bag, consume less. We don't want, right? It's difficult, right? We don't want. You see, even salad is 0 point something gram of CO2, right? And we don't want to do that, yeah. But I think if everybody know that, okay, everybody do that a little bit, I think we are going to reduce that percent. And you see the Singapore government try to import this renewable energy from Australia, more than 4,000 kilometer subsea cable, which it's a lot, right? Thing to do. I think if we support this a little bit here and there, okay, I think we will have the nature, or have to preserve the nature. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Augus, for the sharing and response to our questions. I think we learned a lot. I believe everyone learned a lot. So yeah, I think it's interesting topic. I think we might want to engage you again in the next session. Thank you very much.
I think what I give to you is just on the overview. Now you can go, different sector is a lot of things. But what I only say it, this is a huge industry. Think about it. This is a huge industry. It's coming up. Yeah.
Yep.
Time to study. Don't be complacent. Study new. Go to breakthrough. Okay. I like to study new all the time. So even I'm now 66. Yeah. You're much younger, right? You're half of my age, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Augus. So now I will pass the time back to the presenter, Angela. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Augus. Thank you, Joseph, for the powerful seminar. And also, I gained a lot of insights from the sustainability topic, especially when you share about, Singapore will import the solar from Australia. So I wonder how it is. And I look forward, because I do not know how it is going to transport an energy from another country to Singapore. Yeah, so I really look forward. And then I hope that, the participant who has listened to it can open their mind to look for another job in the sustainability industry, which is, you say, are very big in the next coming year. Okay, this time we will, give back our best to our God in terms of offering. Like, I also hope that our offering will expand the God's kingdom in the earth. So offering can be made by Pay Now, which is on your this screen right now. So before we pay, our sister Yanti will lead us in the offering prayer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Terima kasih Bapak yang baik, kami mengucap syukur Tuhan untuk hal-hal yang baru yang sudah Engkau bagikan lewat Pak Augus. Terima kasih Tuhan, kami percaya Tuhan ada hal-hal opportunity yang baru buat setiap kami Tuhan. Kami melihat Tuhan ada kesempatan-kesempatan yang Kau akan bukakan di setiap kami Tuhan. Kami berdoa juga Tuhan, kami mengucap syukur untuk berkat-Mu yang sudah Engkau berikan setiap kami dalam pekerjaan, dalam hal kesehatan, dalam hal apapun Tuhan yang Kau sudah berikan buat kami Tuhan. Saatnya kami Tuhan, kami siap untuk memberikan berkat-berkat-Mu Tuhan lewat persembahan yang kami berikan Tuhan. Terima kasih Tuhan, kami siap memberi karena Engkau terlebih dahulu sudah memberi. Di dalam nama Yesus kami mengucap syukur dan berdoa. Amin.
Thank you Yanti. Selamat memberi dan terima kasih untuk persembahan saudara-saudara sekalian. Dan atas nama The Channel yang Pro dan semua yang hadir malam hari ini, saya mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Bapak Augus Lee untuk pelayanannya yang luar biasa, yang memberkati kita semua. Tuhan Yesus memberkati Pak Augus, keluarga, dan pelayanannya. Amin. Roma 12 ayat 12 berkata, bersukacitalah dalam pengharapan, sabarlah dalam kesesakan, dan bertekunlah dalam doa. Karena itu saya mengundang saudara semua dalam morning prayer setiap hari Sabtu jam 5 pagi dan menara doa setiap hari Selasa jam 8 malam via Zoom. Berikutnya, Christmas is coming. Save the date, 3 Desember jam 5 sore di Orchard Towers lantai 7. The Channel Christmas dengan tema Prince of Peace. Dalam segala situasi, hidup kita penuh damai sejahtera karena Yesus Sang Raja Damai telah lahir bagi kita. Dan saya mengucapkan terima kasih untuk teman-teman semua yang melayani malam hari ini. Mari berikan tepuk tangan untuk mereka. Monica, Angela, Hendra, Yobel, Joseph, Budi, Yenti, Justina, Berdi, Indra, Chandra, Robin, Florence, dan tim media The Channel. Dan terima kasih untuk semua yang sudah hadir malam hari ini. Sampai jumpa di The Channel Christmas. Tuhan Yesus memberkati. Saya persilahkan Budi untuk berdoa.
Mari teman-teman, sebelum kita berpisah, kita tutup dalam doa. Tuhan, terima kasih ya Tuhan buat kesempatan malam hari ini ya Tuhan. Kau telah sertai ya Tuhan dari awal, pertengahan hingga akhir ini ya Tuhan. Terima kasih ya Tuhan. Kau telah bukakan ya Tuhan hikmat-Mu ya Tuhan atas Pak Augus ya Tuhan yang telah memaparkan ya Tuhan untuk kesempatan ke depan ya Tuhan untuk bisnis dan pekerjaan yang terbuka lebar untuk tahun-tahun ke depan ya Tuhan. Terima kasih ya Tuhan. Walaupun ya Tuhan saat ini kami mendengar ya Tuhan berita untuk tahun depan itu tidak baik ya Tuhan, tapi dari acara ini ya Tuhan Engkau beri peneguhan lagi ya Tuhan untuk setiap kami Tuhan, untuk kami bisa melangkah ke depan lebih berani lagi ya Tuhan. Hanya bersama dengan Engkau ya Tuhan kami dapat menjalani semuanya dengan lancar ya Tuhan, tanpa keraguan ya Tuhan, karena Engkau pasti akan sediakan berkat-berkat-Mu ya Tuhan untuk ke depan ya Tuhan. Terima kasih ya Tuhan buat firman malam hari ini. Berkati Pak Augus dan keluarganya ya Tuhan, dimanapun Pak Augus ditugaskan ya Tuhan, Kau beri hikmat-Mu ya Tuhan, Kau berikan ya Tuhan pewahyuan-Mu yang baru ya Tuhan untuk Pak Augus, sehingga dapat memberikan ya Tuhan berkat untuk banyak orang ya Tuhan. Apa yang disampaikan ya Tuhan itu ya Tuhan tertuju kepada nama-Mu juga ya Tuhan, karena Engkau yang dipermuliakan ya Tuhan. Terima kasih ya Tuhan, berkati keluarganya ya Tuhan, jauhkan dari segala mara bahaya ya Tuhan. Berkatilah ya Tuhan setiap perjalanan yang dilakukan Pak Augus dimanapun berada, Engkau sertai ya Tuhan, Engkau lindungi Tuhan. Terima kasih Tuhan. Tuhan, kami juga berdoa ya Tuhan untuk pastor senior kami di BCS ya Tuhan, Pastor Niko Nyotarharjo ya Tuhan, dan kami berdoa juga untuk Pastor Budi sebagai caretaker-nya ya Tuhan. Tuhan, Kau berkati hamba-Mu ini ya Tuhan, Kau berikan hikmat-Mu tambah-tambah hari ya Tuhan, Kau berikan perlindungan-Mu untuk hamba-hamba-Mu ini ya Tuhan, sehingga mereka ya Tuhan dapat menjalani ya Tuhan semua tugas-tugas yang ada pada dia ya Tuhan, untuk menyampaikan ya Tuhan kebenaran-Mu ya Tuhan. Berikan ya Tuhan penuntunan-Mu ya Tuhan, sehingga apa yang disampaikan ya Tuhan itu hanya untuk kemuliaan nama-Mu saja ya Tuhan. Berikan perlindungan-Mu ya Tuhan atas mereka ya Tuhan, walaupun mereka tidak ada bersama kami saat ini ya Tuhan, tapi kami berdoa ya Tuhan, Engkau berikan ya Tuhan perlindungan-Mu ya Tuhan atas mereka ya Tuhan. Berikan kesehatan ya Tuhan, jauhkan dari segala mara bahaya ya Tuhan. Tuhan, terima kasih ya Tuhan. Juga berdoa untuk gembala kami di channel ya Tuhan, Pastor Elvan dan Ruth ya Tuhan. Tuhan, berdoa untuk hamba-Mu ini ya Tuhan. Berikan hikmat-Mu ya Tuhan, berikan pewahyuan-Mu atas hamba-Mu ini ya Tuhan, sehingga ya Tuhan dapat membawa the channel ini ya Tuhan menjadi saluran berkat ya Tuhan untuk banyak orang ya Tuhan. Juga perlindungan-Mu ya Tuhan atas mereka saat ini sedang overseas ya Tuhan, yakin dan percaya Tuhan, perlindungan-Mu sempurna atas mereka ya Tuhan. Terima kasih ya Tuhan. Berdoa juga untuk teman-teman kami di channel ya Tuhan. Kau berikan ya Tuhan kekuatan ya Tuhan untuk setiap kami ya Tuhan, untuk melangkah ke depan ya Tuhan, sehingga kami tidak ragu-ragu lagi ya Tuhan. Apapun ya Tuhan yang kami kerjakan ya Tuhan saat ini ya Tuhan, Kau pasti akan buka jalan baru ya Tuhan. Setiap kesempatan-kesempatan baru itu ya Tuhan, Kau pasti akan berikan ya Tuhan. Terima kasih ya Tuhan, juga teringat juga untuk teman-teman kami ya Tuhan yang saat ini mungkin sedang sakit ya Tuhan. Kami berdoa ya Tuhan, bilur-bilur-Mu ya Tuhan sanggup menyembuhkan ya Tuhan. Kami yakin dan percaya Tuhan, setiap sakit penyakit Engkau pasti ya Tuhan beri kesembuhan ya Tuhan. Terima kasih ya Tuhan, juga lindungilah ya teman-teman kami yang sedang overseas, sedang menikmati libur panjang ya Tuhan, minggu-minggu ini ya Tuhan. Tuhan, penyertaan-Mu sempurna atas mereka ya Tuhan, sehingga mereka ya Tuhan dapat menikmati liburannya dan kembali ke Singapura ya Tuhan, dapat bekerja seperti semula ya Tuhan. Terima kasih ya Tuhan, kami serahkan ya Tuhan sepenuhnya ya Tuhan, kehidupan kami saat ini sampai selamanya, hanya di dalam nama Tuhan kami, Yesus Kristus. Amin.
Mari angkat tangan kita, buka hati kita, terima berkat dari Tuhan. Terimalah berkat yang berlimpah-limpah dari Bapa di surga, kasih yang sempurna dari Tuhan kita Yesus Kristus, dan persekutuan yang manis dengan Allah Roh Kudus menyertai kehidupan kita mulai malam hari ini sampai Tuhan Yesus datang kali yang kedua. Dalam nama Tuhan Yesus, semua yang percaya katakan amin. Haleluya. Selamat malam, Tuhan Yesus memberkati. Have a blessed weekend. Terima kasih Pak Augus, teman-teman semua yang melayani. God bless you.